What is going on, DSU Radio? I am your host, Jordan, also known as J. Cole. And today we have a special episode. We have a special guest. We have an audio engineer, music producer, DJ by the name of Mikey, Mikey Media
Yo,
on Instagram. So yeah, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all good, man. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I can't complain at all. I can't complain. So, coming up, right? You're you're looking to be the new DJ of the radio station. So, like, what got you into DJing and
I
stuff like that?
I needed a way to build the finances for audio engineering. So I used to get into music production back in the day, back freshman and sophomore year of high school, and it was like there's a lot of competition in the field. Everybody wants to rap, everybody wants to make beats and X, Y, and Z. So it was like, all right, what do I want to do that not everyone else is doing? So I moved from stage sound to live sound. And getting into live sound is very expensive. Buying the PA, buying speakers, buying all your wired and wireless microphones, and even the console, all that's expensive. And I was like, all right, what can I do to kind of fund that? And I just found DJing. Got my first controller, did my first gig. My first gig ever was a wedding, and it sucked. I'm not
Right.
gonna lie. Hey, it sucked, but now I got to the point to where I'm making over, $800 a gig, doing all weddings, corporate parties, high school parties, whatever. And I can now fund my DJ career and live sound career in a nutshell.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Nah, that's what's up. So, like, what got you into the just the passion for it, like musically?
Just hey, it's always my thing. So like I've never been this. Look at my size, right? I've never been into sports at all. So my dad forced me to do basketball, football, baseball, all that, and I just wasn't really feeling it. And I remember one time I was at a football game, and I was sitting on the sideline, and I was just listening to the marching band. And it was like, yo, that was fire. Like I want to do that. And during high school, I told my dad I didn't want to play football, so I quit, did marching band, and it was kind of like, all right, I'm doing band, I'm doing music production, I'm interested in audio engineering, DJing, and it's kind of like it felt like that music was me. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like everybody else wants to do, sports or whatever, or art, but I felt music was just me.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. So I heard that you were upcoming, or not upcoming, but rising senior on your way to
Yeah.
graduate in the spring or in the fall.
It's not spring.
Spring?
Yeah,
Spring
I've been here
graduation?
for too long. Yeah, like
How do you feel about that?
I mean, better late than never. For those that don't know, I'm considered a super duper senior. I've been here for a couple years.
Okay.
But COVID was rough. Everybody has that same excuse that I failed a bunch of classes, but hey, not live. Online classes isn't for me. I'm not. I don't really like that. I like to be front row in the classroom and just be engaged with classmates and the actual professor. So when COVID hit, I took a year off, and now I'm back. Everything's in person. I'm ready to get up out of here. I'm not gonna lie.
Man, that COVID year was different.
Yes.
That COVID year was crazy.
Yes,
Wow.
I failed so many classes. It's not even funny.
Really?
Yeah, like I probably only passed one class. Yeah,
Wait, it was that crazy?
yeah.
It was that crazy.
Well, out of sight, out of mind. So it's like, okay, I got an 11 to 12 class,
Okay.
and I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to school. I'm not going to work. So I'm waking up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I already
Yeah,
missed
okay.
class.
Right.
So my attendance grade is dropping. Oh, I have an assignment due at 11:59. All right, cool. I'm gonna do it later, and then later comes around and I forget about it.
Gotcha.
That's why I didn't really like COVID. But if I'm in the classroom, the teacher will give you the reminder. Other students will talk about it. You can't mess up.
Yeah. Right. That's real. That's real. So how are your classes going in right now then?
They're doing great. Yeah.
good?
So I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm 100% all around the board, but Blackboard got the color code green, yellow, red, or whatever. Everything's in the green.
Okay.
All my assignments
That's
are
good.
done.
That's good.
If an assignment, like I got a couple assignments due next week that are already done.
Okay.
Whatever I can do to get out of here on time,
Yeah, you're
I'm
doing
making sure
it.
it's done. Oh yeah.
That's good.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
good. So do you have any, like, let's get back into like the music production and
Yeah.
music audio engineering. Do you have anybody specifically that you would like to work with, or you see yourself working with in the future?
There's so many people in the field. It's not even funny. But I do have an older cousin of mine, Donald Walker. Everybody knows him as Scooby.
Okay.
And he has his own production company that I really want to work for. But right now, I got to work up to it. So there's a guy under him named Terrence, and he has his own sound company, TNC Sound Solutions, right? So right now, I'm in the process of trying to work my way up. So there's different audio techs, right? So there's an A1, which is like the boss man, A2, which you can consider like the manager, and then A3 is like your employees.
Okay.
So I'm trying to work my way up the ranks to be A3, A2, eventually A1, and then when I get to Scooby's level, A3, A2, A1, and so on, so on.
Okay.
But outside of them, like as far as moving to like West Coast or national, I don't know anybody. If something comes up, I'll gladly take it though.
Okay. So, like, where do you see your career going in like the next 5 to 10 years from now? Or
See, like the music industry is so unpredictable.
Right.
Like I don't know. And I'm trying hard not to put all my eggs into one basket, because then if it fails, then I'm just going to be like sad, you know? So it's more or less kind of trying to put myself out there, doing more live sound gigs, handing out more cards, doing more DJ gigs, and then seeing who sees my work and like, hey, Mr. Scott, you know, your mix sounded really good. You know, we want to bring you along with us.
Okay.
And then just go from there.
Right.
So essentially, yeah, it's kind of playing the waiting game, but it's very unpredictable, you know?
Okay. Now, you said you've been here for a minute. You said super senior.
2019 is when I
Super
started.
senior, right?
Yes.
So what drew you here? Like, why did you come to Dell State?
Finances.
Finances.
Yes.
That's
finances.
usually everybody's number one.
So I wanted to go to Full Sail University in Florida. Right?
Okay.
And I seen, and you know, I don't know how to read, right? So I'll see $90,000 tuition and be like, oh, $90,000 for a bachelor's, yeah, I'll take it. No, it's $90,000 a year, not for the 4.
Right.
So who has $45,000 a semester? Nobody can afford
crazy.
that. So I remember in high school we had to do a senior high school project of like where you want to go to college, and we had to do a whole PowerPoint on it and whatever. And I was so hard, and this is me talking about them eggs, right? I was so heart set on going to Full Sail that when that failed, it was like, well, where am I going now?
Right.
And I didn't have the motivation to do any other research anywhere else. So it was like, all right, we're just going to go to Dell State. Why not?
Right.
And you know, my freshman, sophomore year of college was kind of like, all right, I'm just here, whatever. COVID hit. I took a year off and was like, do I really want to go? And, you know, I'm living with my parents or whatever. And they're like, hey, if you drop out of college, you got to find your own place. And the housing market is crazy right now. All right. So, you know, I was like, you know what? Let me do that. And I mainly came back for my parents, right? Because I ain't got nowhere to go. But once I came back, I built better connections with different professors like David Tolley, Marty Denson, John Smarsda. I built connections with them, and I learned more about the industry. And then I met Darius Godwin. He's the AV tech over at the IT department. And I've learned so much stuff in the past 2 years than I have my first 2 years, my freshman, sophomore year. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like a blessing in disguise that I came here instead. And coincidentally enough, that Darius Godwin guy and the Marty Denson guy that I just mentioned, they graduated from Full Sail.
Okay.
But that was back in like the 90s, early 2000s, and tuition was probably half the
So you got a
price.
chance to pick their brains.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
So it's like, all right, I'm getting a free
that is
tuition,
a coincidence.
you know?
Yeah, like what?
So.
That is cool.
Yeah.
What's one of the most like shocking truths that you learned about the music industry? Like,
I want to, in one word, I'd say greed.
greed. Okay.
But also incompetence. So like, not everybody knows the truth behind the industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about money at the end of the day, right? And I feel like a lot of people get lost in the notoriety, in the fame, and what's popular, and they try to put themselves into that crowd that they don't really look at finances. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna say his name, but I know a guy. I work with him, right? And he's into music production, and he's trying to get a deal with Lil Baby, right?
Okay.
Cool.
Right.
I like that. Get somewhere. But he'll make beats, and then he'll talk about finances, like, oh, like, what should the percentages be? And it's like, well, your focus, you know what I mean? Like, they're just going to take that beat and then run. So what type of paperwork can you fill out so that you get the most amount of money and get the notoriety at the same time? Because then at the end of the day, they're going to take your beat, and you could say, oh, I made a beat for Lil Baby, but you're not going to be on the credit. You know, like, they're going to take your tag off.
Dang.
You're not going to be on the credit, and you're probably only getting like $500 for it. And Lil Baby's going to make millions off of your track. So fill out the paperwork, learn the royalties, learn the laws, learn the copyright, learn how to speak to management so that you don't get effed over in the long run. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know. That's another reason why I wanted to step away from music production. Like, don't get me wrong. If somebody was like, hey, can you make me a beat real quick? Like, yeah, sure, I got you, but you got to get your paperwork right.
Right. Yeah. And, you know, you kind of already mentioned it, like learning copyrights, learning, you know, how the music industry works. So I just want to ask you, like, what advice would you give somebody that's trying to be in your shoes, trying to do the things that you do?
Research and network. You know, like, everybody says to network, but you also got to research at the same time. And it's like, you could talk to a million people, but if you don't know what you're talking about, then what you're talking about, you know? And it's like, all right, when it comes to DJing, like, if I want to go to a DJing expo, I need to do a little bit of researching as far as, like, what should I be talking about? Who should I be talking to? And what should I be asking? You know what I'm saying? So if I could start, like, with the knowledge that I know now, if I could start college over again, I would say just take it seriously, do the research, and talk to as many people as you can.
Okay. That's good. And we're gonna end it with this question. So what is one of the biggest lessons that you have learned throughout your whole college experience?
Don't be scared to mess up. You know, like, people don't believe it, but, like, I'm very, like, introverted, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to be comfortable to be extroverted, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's everybody, but, like, I would just say, like, you just got to be comfortable, and you got to be okay to just be wrong, you know? Like, before, I didn't like being wrong, and if somebody would tell me, like, oh, like, it shouldn't be like that, I would be eager to just, no, it's like this. And you know, I'd go home and I'll think about it and be like, oh, like, I really should have did this. So, I don't know, just be okay to be wrong.
Right. That's really big. That's really big, man. Well, I know you're real busy. I know you got things to do.
Yeah, man.
So it's going to be until next time. If you guys like this content, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace.